Hi guys, welcome back to the video series that is about nothing but is about absolutely everything. Initially I just called it the video series about nothing because I really thought that I wouldn't be talking about much, but I will go on a tangent. I will talk about a lot of other things. It's just I usually have a lot going on in my mind, so I just end up sharing all of those ideas and thoughts and stuff, and it becomes more than nothing. It becomes a lot of something. So yeah, hey, ke film my video and I ke fence there because I don't want the sound of the birds and the insects and whatever in the background. But now I'm burning. I'm like So anyway, without further ado, let's get into what I wanted to talk about today. I have 4 topics that I want to talk about today. Let me jump right into the first thing. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is that in the first video that I posted, I made mention of the fact that I have a better relationship with my family. I mentioned how I'm more closer with them and my relationship is more healed and just generally better than it was before. If you've been following me for a while, I've mentioned in my previous videos how I'm not too close with my little brother, or me and my brother, our relationship is a tad bit strained, and I went into detail and it's mostly because of me, because of, you know, how hola. I think you're gonna have to watch that video for you to like really get into it, because I'm not gonna go into detail but I'll just go into like a few details here and there. When you grow up, when I a younger sibling, there are certain feelings that end up coming up, that end up straining your relationship with your younger sibling. And for a while I was carrying that and I wasn't aware of it until I was, and then I worked on it, I apologized, and now we're doing a lot better. That and something else that my therapist let me just keep this door open. I think I'll try and project my voice as much as possible so that it overpowers the background noises. But yeah, I talked about it with my therapist. I went in and I was like, hey, I'm proud to announce that we're doing a lot better. And he was like, yo, so I get that, and I want to explain to you a little bit why that is so beyond the work that you have done. He basically told me that what happens is that when siblings are growing up, it's a common thing. It's not just guano, it's a common thing when siblings are growing up in one household, or what he calls in a small space, that relationship is usually strained because they're each individually dealing with their own individual traumas and feelings and emotions, and because of that relationship is just strained. They don't really understand each other, and it is until they now leave the nook, go out into their various spaces and explore, really come more into themselves, that they now come back and realize that, hey, you know what, I actually have a lot in common with my brother or my sister, and the relationship just develops and becomes a lot better than it was when they were growing up. So yeah, that's the situation with my little brother and I. Were just like a lot better than we were when we were younger, and we have quite a lot in common. And it's exactly the way he said it is. Like, I don't want to say we think exactly the same, we don't, but we have similar interests when it comes to music and even gauging like right from wrong. Our thinking is almost the same in that regard. So yeah, I found what he said very, very, very accurate. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about, really. I just wanted to share with you guys that little piece of information. Right now you have a rather strained relationship with your siblings. I think that it's important to also just do some soul searching, some deep diving into why that is so. And then also just take what I said right now that my therapist said into consideration as well. It does get better with age, with time and age. Yeah. This one is quite interesting. I've been thinking about it all week. You know, I'm one of those people, or rather, I think I was telling somebody that I don't believe in this, or rather I don't subscribe to this thing. No new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new ish, I don't want any new friends because I have trust issues. Or when I was younger, I used to be like, nah, I don't want any new friends because I have trust issues. And then I grew up and I realized that, you know what, and I had this conversation actually with my colleagues the other day, especially as you grow up and you develop into various stages of your life, you tend to meet people that are also within those stages or those phases or those spaces, and because of your similar interests, you guys develop a bond. So it would be an injustice for you to now reject those bonds because of the fact that when I did trust issues, or because Drake said no new friends, or when so when I realized that, I started to let a lot more people in, because I started to meet a lot more people by Longkore. We had a lot of similar interests, and because of the fact that we had a lot of similar interests and we think the same, my life became so much better. I feel like when I was younger, I had a lot of friends or friendships where I felt like me and the people didn't really understand each other, or we just were like wawan. And when I started making more friends that we were just like wawan, my quality of life got a lot better, and I started really, really enjoying life, because I'd go out with my friends, and when I'd say one, my friend would say two, 3, 4. Let's jump on that table. We're jumping on the table. That sort of thing. In a lot of various aspects as well. Yeah, that's how I've been feeling lately. And then recently I started to think to myself though, hey, you know what? I think as much as I'm comfortable with making new friends, I think that I don't have the exact level of maturity that is required to make new friends and have new bonds and relationships. Because I want to be honest and say that the more you like have new friends, it's not just monate. You guys, because of the fact that this is a new relationship, you guys are gonna have, did I say that word right? You guys will have you guys are having a misunderstanding, or you guys are just not understanding each other thing. You're not going to meet somebody you guys are going to understand each other 100%. It's just like a relationship. Yeah, there will be a crossroads at some point, and I got to the point sometime this week where I realized that I actually don't have the proper maturity or the proper conflict resolution skills to take on new friendships. I'm already trying as much as possible, or I'm already trying to understand and communicate better with the friends that I already have. And because of the fact that we have a few years on us, I'm better navigating those relationships. But now with new friendships, you have to try to understand. You have to do the necessary work to understand this person and how they communicate and how you guys can get through certain situations. And I was like, I thought about it the other day, and I was like, damn, I think where I'm at right now, I don't have the maturity for this. And I'm saying this because I think I genuinely don't think I have the maturity for this. Already, like I said right now, with my current friendships, when we have an issue, I just take so much time to resolve it. And I want to be honest, and I want to be fair to myself and say that I'm doing better every day. But it strains me. It strains me already with my current circle of friends, so much that as much as it would be nice to meet new people and have such a great time and develop new experiences with new people, relationships are all the same, and they all have a part or a point where you guys unless you and that person don't hang out as much, they hang out but also not that as well. You never know what's gonna happen. So what I'm trying to say is, I recently started thinking about how I don't think I have the maturity that's necessary, that's needed to navigate new friendships. And until I can work on that, and conflict resolution skills and all of that, my conflict resolution skills, I don't want to bring people like really, really close to me anymore, because it strains me. It drains me and it strains me having a falling out or having a misunderstanding with people that I consider dear and near to me, because I think about things. Like, one thing about me, I think about things on a daily basis. I think about things. Nothing ever, my brain does not stop working. So it's not to say that I overthink. I'm not necessarily an overthinker. I don't regard myself as an overthinker. I think about things. Currently at the moment with my circle of friends, I don't think it's the largest circle of friends. I think I have 1 or 2 falling outs or 1 or 2 misunderstandings, and I'm just like, yo. So yeah, that's just something that I've been thinking about. I think I have to work on myself more before I can allow any new party or any new person really, really close to me, because, and it's not only about me. Honestly, I want to be honest and say, especially just the way we are as people, just the way we are as young people with our various traumas. I could come up to I could pull up to the slate, I could do my best, but then the other party doesn't reciprocate. It's so but that level of understanding, or that level of what do they call it, emotional intelligence, or whatever, does not allow them to show up the way I need them to, or show up in that situation. So there are just so many factors to deal with that at the moment I don't think that I have the maturity or the energy to. That is in regards to like new relationships and new friendships. But yeah, I'll work on it. I will genuinely work on it. I'll work on it in the relationships that I currently have, and I'll work on it in general so that I can better navigate future relationships. That's something that I've put on my list of, okay, these are the things that you need to work on, Barbara. Yeah. Anyway, it's funny that I call myself it's just like 2 different identities, I guess. What's the third thing? I think, was it the third thing? Yeah, there was a third thing. Oh, I remember the third thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me just rush right through it. So I was thinking about it while I was driving home. Wait, say everything that they tell you about moving to a new city, town, country, continent is true. Almost everything. Other than the fact that everybody's experience is unique, most of the things that they tell you is Bible, is true. So I was thinking about the fact that when I was in China, I developed so many great habits, and I was the most confident, if not the most passionate, the most fearless that I've ever been in my life. And upon coming back here, it took me some time for me to shrink back to the person I was before China. It took me some time. I think it took me about a year, but I finally was restored back to factory settings at some point. And I was thinking about how I don't create any content. I don't create any fashion content, but I love fashion. I want to be honest and say I love fashion. I love dressing up. I love themes. Today the theme was yellow, and this is just like these are the type of things that make me happy. So I was thinking about it the other day, Kere. When I was coming from China, if you would have put that girl, if she was here right now, the amount of content that I would have, not only on my Instagram but on my YouTube, you'd have lookbooks, you'd have dress with me, you'd have a week of style with Barbs or something, if that girl was present at the moment. And I was like, whoa, I was thinking about the lookbook that I did. I thought, but it was just about, I don't know what it was about, I can't remember, but it was really fun, and I loved that video, and I love that girl. She wasn't afraid of being a beginner. She wasn't afraid of not having the best video. She was just like interested in creating content and just having fun with it. And I miss that girl. There's just something about going to live in another continent or country that just like really forces you to become the not necessarily that really forces you to be the best version of yourself, or really forces you to develop better habits and just explore your passions and all of that. And I really, really missed that girl that I was in 2019/2020. But we're hopeful that with all this healing and with all this exploration that we're doing, that we can tap into that girl, or that we can find that girl, or a better version of her, or a more stronger, more focused version of her. But yeah, the final thing that I wanted to talk about, like I said, in line with the point that I just spoke about right now, is that I find the society we live in very, very interesting. Not letting people be beginners. And I know very well that I am guilty as well. This is not to say that I am perfect and I allow people to be beginners and I don't ever talk shit. This is to say that I am also a part of the problem. But yesterday, what happened is that yesterday I posted a video of me attempting, not necessarily me attempting, but me doing jump squats on a tire. And I got a few comments or whatever. It's you're not doing this right, and I don't know if it's my insecurities that made me feel like these people were coming from a place of you're not doing this right, or you're not doing this right, rather than like really, really loving constructive criticism. Maybe my insecurities are the ones that made me not take it the right way. But I was thinking to myself how, for instance, if somebody just starts a gym journey and that doing that gym thing and that taking videos and that posting the videos, people will always be quick to criticize or gossip about this person and say that form is totally wrong, or whatever, or just point out like this person's mistakes, or that sort of thing. And it's like, bro, but you do understand that this person just started, right? And they don't have a personal trainer. And even if they do have a personal trainer, this person is a beginner. You do understand that, right? And this like goes across everything. Somebody just started off as a makeup artist, or just started off doing their makeup, and it's like, your eyebrows are just like terrible, darling. And it's like, you do understand that this person just started this shit. They're still learning, right? And they can't just be a professional at first attempt, right? And it's just interesting. Society is just not like allowing of anybody to be a beginner at anything. If the person starts off as a videographer and they put out that work, it's just like, that body of work that person posted is terrible. Yo, the cutaways, the what, yo, terrible. So I just, like I said, I am not perfect. I'm part of the problem. I'm guilty of doing this sometimes, but I find it very, very interesting. And I find it very, very interesting that we're like this. And I'm pleading for all of you to do the same. Just be kinder to the next person, especially when they're trying something out, they're trying something new, that this person cannot be perfect or close to perfect, because they are just a beginner. So there's a point there's a quote from Mark Manson that speaks about how the society we live in is perpetuating perfection, constantly perpetuating perfection. But I will leave the quote either on the screen. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. As usual, I come on here thinking I'm going to speak for only 5 to 10 minutes, and it ends up being 20. Thank you for your continued support and attention.